Water. Take a quick sip. Greetings, fellow true to the time and space. This is your host, Tomoya, shut up, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online. We're going to be continuing up where we left off. In the last live stream, we did a Final Fantasy XIV, because today is patch day. We finally got the brand new patch 6.1 today, Newfound adventure. So we are going to be tackling the main scenario, as well as attempting our first run with the new Myths of the Realm raid. So without further ado, let's get started right away with today's adventure and see what's in store for us. I want to see! Now, first things first, we gotta go inside the Rising Stones. Hello, Tataru! Tataru's putting on a pot of tea and looks in need of company. Ooh, I'm getting a gift? Yami, how lovely to see you. If you're not in too much of a rush, I was about to make a pot of tea. Would you like a cup? Take a seat then, and I'll find us something to nibble on as well.
It's so much quieter these days without everyone around. Not that I'm pining for your return, you understand. I have my sources, and I know that each and every one of you is doing well and keeping busy with your endeavors. Meanwhile, I'm left with a surplus of free time and the question of how to make the most of it. What about you? Any plans for the immediate future?
A brand new adventure, of course.
Traveling to the edge of existence and back wasn't enough? Well, if that's the case, I might have a suggestion for you. You've fought bravely and selflessly, helping those in need and saving our star from unimaginable threats. For your deeds, you've been hailed as the champion of Eorzea and a host of other incredible things. But why not put those titles aside for a while? Acquit yourself as a simple adventurer again, and travel the world in search of wonder.
Who knows? You're right, who knows? What mysteries are still waiting to be discovered?
Oh, that's the spirit! I can feel from here the blazing fire that just lit in your belly. Now, all you need is a destination. If you're having trouble deciding, just leave it to me. Thavnair. That's where you should go next. I doubt you were able to squeeze in a proper tour of Radzat the last time you were there. What with the burning skies and rampaging monsters and so forth. And I'm sure Vritra would be pleased to see you. Then there's the bounty itself. The Empire's presence in the region was always a deterrent to exploration. So if you've a mind to sail that sea, now's your chance. Just think of all the new experiences you could have.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty? As the bearer of Azem's crystal, you may consider your duty to see at least that much.
Oh, I know that look. That's an adventurer ready to take on the world. In anticipation of an occasion like this, I was planning to gift you a new set of traveling clothes, but it's still a work in progress. Shouldn't take much longer now, though, so sit tight and I'll have the last few bits sewn up before you can finish another cup of tea.
New clothes? Already? You're the best, Tataru.
Stitch in here and trim in there. Knot the threads with love and care. Just a little more to go. I'm sure you're still brimming with excitement. I'm one with the needle. See how the fabric surrenders to my whims. Don't worry. I'll make sure the lining has plenty of pockets for all your little treasures. I swear adventurers are worse than children when it comes to hoarding every feather and leaf and animal hide they come across.
Wonder what this outfit's gonna look like. I wasn't too crazy over the one they made in Shadowbringers, but it's like...
Oh, we mustn't forget the waterproofing.
But the one in Realm Reborn I really liked.
Before plunging into the sea, or a river,
and
or a piping hot bath.
Was there one in Stormblood and Heavensward? I don't think there was. Who are you?
Ah, you're awake. My apologies. I do get a little carried away with my sewing. You seem awfully cheerful. Pleasant dream? Or are you just looking forward to the next chapter of your grand saga? Either way, I promise to provide you with new apparel, and so I shall. If you'll accompany me to the Diamond Forge, we can put the finishing touches on your outfit. Shall we?
The Diamond Forge. Where? Oh, I keep forgetting that area is called the Diamond Forge. Yikes, there's so many people here. Observe as the artiste refines our piece into a masterpiece. And no napping this time. I only need a moment. You'll see. A little more room in the shoulders. Open up the cuffs. A final adjustment to the hem. All done. Let's see how it looks on the mannequin. Oh, the outfit she made was the outfit that they have the main character wearing in the freaking trailer art for 6.1. I'm so glad you approve. You've outdone yourself, Tataru. Thank you. Oh, stop. You'll make me blush. You really want to thank me, though. All I ask is that you wear this on your travels. That's going straight in the glamour dresser. Or at least anywhere lots of adventures might gather. They look at you, famous hero, and wonder, where did he purchase those stylish yet practical garments? And before you know it, hordes of new customers will be climbing over each other to place orders at the Taru's boutique. Of course. I can hear it now, the merry clink-clink of gill overflowing my coffers. Sweet music to my ears. Burgeoning merchant empires aside, you must be excited to start a fresh chapter of your life. New places to go, new places to meet, new people to meet. I often wonder how you remember all your experiences and exploits without taking at least a few notes. Oh, maybe you should start doing just that. You never know when some odd past detail might become relevant, or if one day you'll take a blow to the head and forget the better part of the past decade. Something to keep in mind in any case. Ah! Collection expanded, the unending codex. Oh, that's cool! Wait a minute! Wait a minute, that's cool! We actually get a little notebook of our adventures and people we come across. That's cool! Okay! The unending codex is now available on the collection in the duty selection of the main menu. New entries for prominent terms and characters will be added to the codex as you progress through the main scenario quests. Let's see here. If I'm correct, I got me a necklace? Let me see this necklace. Oh! Okay, I like this necklace. I like this necklace. I could rock this with something. And I think I might have an idea on what glamour I want for it. Hang on. Alright, let's talk to Tataru. As the former receptionist and sometimes intelligence gatherer of the Scions, allow me to offer you a word of advice. Do not expect juicy rumors to simply fall into your lap. Adventurers rely on gossip, and the best places to pick up information are taverns and markets. At present, you only have a broad destination in mind. When you arrive in Thavnair, I suggest you explore your options at Merid's Mehane, the finest drinking establishment in Radz-at-Han. Charm the employees, and they'll not only point you in the direction of the local tale tellers, but also share with you the tricks for loosening their tongues. Now, I really must be getting back to running my boutique. Enjoy the journey, Yami, and may fair fortune find you. Okay, now before we do that, let's head on back to Kugane so I can put all this stuff into the glamour dresser. Ooh, and I think I might actually have an idea on what I want to get for glamour for this outfit. I mean, so far the only thing I see myself using is the necklace right now. But let me check and see how much all this stuff is first. This is new. What about this? No, we're not going to use that. How about this? Ooh, still too expensive. And that's expensive too. Ouch. That's expensive too. Ouch. Literally, ouch. Apparently we can wear this now, which is funny. Oh boy. And apparently this as well. Don't I actually have this already? No, I don't. You know what? Nah, don't grab that because it's already got necklaces on it. Yeah, it's already got necklaces on it. That being so expensive kills me. That's still over $1 million. Now this I actually have, but it's got a necklace on it as well. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Don't I actually own this own this top? No, I don't. Okay. Buy that. I can make something with that. And I'm pretty certain I own this. Own this. I'm pretty certain I own this. Yeah, I own this. I got it in my armor chest. And I'm getting these. Ooh, wait a minute. God, I hate those. I hate those. I really hate those. Those don't look good. Wow. None of this ain't even listed. I don't like them, though. God, these shoes are still expensive. Why? Well. Let me see here. Where's the repairman? Is there a repairman anywhere? Right here. Repair all. Repair all. Repair all. Repair all. Repair all. Repair all. Okay. Now, I know. I'm taking my sweet time to get to the main scenario. It's like when it comes to glamours, I always try to take some time to actually build something really, really nice. You mean an out? Oh, we can try on gear from the bed now, which is cool. Okay, let's see here. Oh, shoot! Damn it! I did it again. I always do that. I always do that. Wait a minute. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, shoot. Go back. And I did it again. Okay, let's see here. First off, this is a samurai glamour. Nah, not that one. The Yokai Watch stuff looks pretty cool and whatnot, but nah, not that one. No. Not that one, no. This one. Definitely this one. Okay. Headpiece, headpiece, headpiece. Headpiece, go with the ribbon. What is this? Oh. I forgot I even had this. Ew, what is that color? Definitely not. No, not blue, not blue, not blue. Well, I don't have any other reds, but we can use this metallic red. Now, where? Ooh. Hold on, I like this. But not with this top. Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, I didn't see the, you see the bottom piece to Tataru's gear in my inventory for some reason. No. For the moment, let's put on this along with this. Along with this. This. Along with this. Now, come back into my inventory. Where are the pants? I'm not blind, am I? I guess there wasn't any pants. Actually, I don't actually hate this look. You know what? Screw it. Let's see here. What gets dyed whenever? Okay, just the white section of it. All right, now let's go ahead and get back to actual content. Wait a minute. This is in Ratahan, right? Yeah, it is. Jesus, there's a lot of people here. Welcome to my marriage, Mahane. Oh, hello. I did not recognize you at first. Are you here alone? Let me find you a table. Ruins meeting for the bounty. Would you be speaking of the second treasure vault? We have one regular, a historian, in fact, who could tell you all about it. Ah, there he is, Professor Jalheen. I thought I saw him come in. Although a somewhat private sort, the professor is quick to befriend those who share his fondness for the Mahane's unique beverages. Offer him any drink from our selection, and he should happily share anything he knows about the Bout, you see, and a few other odd bits besides. Whatever you buy from him is on the house, by the way. If Merid found out I took coin from Thabner's savior, she would have me scrubbing pots for a week. Ack! There's so many people! Out of the way! Yes? The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. Yeah, speak with them. And what may I do for you, my Eozin friend? Oh, just friendly chat. How about a drink? I certainly wouldn't say no to a drink freely offered. Here we are, one of Merid's finest. Enjoy. Ah, lovely. Bottoms up. Empties cup in a single pull. Jesus Christ. That was very kind of you, sir, but I know when I'm being softened up. What is it that you want from me? Oh ho, chasing down that old tale, are you? It does seem to appeal to the adventurous at heart. Now, where to begin? Might I assume you've heard of Al-Jahal? He was Han of the Aoi tribe, which sailed to Thabner from the mainland, and a key figure in the history of Rajat Han. His decision to aid the Akatsuki is what ultimately won them the war against the Gajasura, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundation for this thriving city-state. The truly fascinating stories, however, concern his grandson, Ajdal III, who was known for his deeds at Satrap in Razathan's earlier days. Some attest that this man traveled to another world entirely and returned with glittering riches, others that he brokered an alliance with a certain worm of the first brood. Then there is this tale of the sunken vault, the one you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Ajdal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. In the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster of hardship befell Razathan, folk would remember that tale of hidden treasure. Hardy souls will set out to claim their fortune, where precious few ever made it home. Would you like to hear more? Apologies, I have a slight tickle in. Oh, my cup appears to be empty. Another pound for the professor. Ah, I see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. Bruh! Another for the professor. Today was a splendid day to visit the main. Goes down his newest drink with gusto. Where were we? Ah, yes, those who did return for seeking the treasure vault refused, flatly refused to speak of what they saw. To discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Such accounts only served to feed the legend, and the golden lure grew stronger than ever before. That reminds me of something Azama was saying. Azama's a fellow connoisseur of spiritualist portables. Yes, he is. Anyway, he was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been seen since he set sail, I hear, but he did have... no, I can say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? If my word sent you to your death, I could never live with myself. I am no stranger to peril. Is that so? Perhaps it's your turn to tell a tale, then. What manner of dangers have you faced? The very edge of existence. From anyone else, I'd struggle to believe it, but I recognize you now. You're the hero of the final days. A drink. I need another drink to settle my nerves. Leo, more the same, if you please. As you wish, but this one is on your coin, Professor. Jalheen drains yet another cup dry. God, he's wasted! Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a little more. This friend of Ajama's, he was desperate to buy a treasure map, one which showed the way to the entrance of the vault. Seems he could only get it from some merchant. What's his name? Ah, I forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my new best friend. Well, more drinks. Signal for water instead. Your drink, sir. I'm powerless. I am parched. Gulps down the cup of water. That was water. Did you tell her to bring me water? Still, that's probably for the best. Very kind of you, really. My head will certainly thank you in the morning. I seem to have overindulged. I am put in mind with the words of Master Jalzan. Be wary how much of the drink you swallow, lest it swallow you. Forgive me, I will subject you to no more of these unseemly antics. You want to speak with Azama, as well as I said? We share a taste for the Mahane's fine spirits. He probably came in as we were talking. I wish you fortune in finding your fortune. You appear to have learned all that Jalheen has to share regarding the undersea vault. To find out more, you will need to locate a man by the name of Azama. More people! Out of the way! Yes, I am Azama, and who might you be? All true, I'm afraid. My friend took a ship out in search of Azdal's legacy, and I've been watching for his sails ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. and that look in his eyes. I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he lusted after. He was hunting Asdal's third's otherworldly hoard, and his ambition would not be denied. Ooh, hiccups. I see it in you too. That appetite for the mysterious and the unknown. But I will not attempt to turn you from your path. I know too well the futility of that endeavor. I will tell you what my friend told me. How he convinced a merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. It seems this merchant, one Sashal, I believe, is selling a map which shows the exact route. But my friend's purse was too light for his exorbitant price. With what meager wealth he had, he instead paid to learn that there are ruins on a small island somewhere in the bounty. And within those ruins hides the path to the vault deep below. If you truly intend on seeking Ashdal's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home.
Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness?
So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name.
It's probably fake.
This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy?
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king, boy. Your scrawny-eyed would never return with that treasure alive.
Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim? How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map. Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoards they stand to uncover.
He's working with him. Hello, Estinian.
What of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price?
Oh, Sinan, you got fleeced! Again!
Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure. But why Favner of all places? Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping. Ruins beneath the Bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I fleece one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure.
You seem eager to be underway.
Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavnir what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove. Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits. Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant.
Ah, so he knew.
Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent. Whether the map leads us to the vault or not. You are coming along, yes?
Of course I am! There's no way I'm missing out on this! Naturally.
I thought as much. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
You'll recall I spoke of visiting Thavnir at Reacher's request. Well, he finally invited me to a feast, and made his proposal once I was too full of Hannish delights to refuse. He wishes me to train the Radiant Host in lance work. But that is a tale for another time. What we need now is a merchant or a trawler with a ship fit for the open seas. Matsuya is a fisherman by trade, yes? We should head to Akiala and see if he can help us. I am a cat riding a dog. my friends. What brings you to our humble village? Cream, you seaworthy vessel to seek these ruins. Considering it was your deeds which allowed us to return to fishing, I should think everyone would be glad for a chance to repay the favor. Wait here, and I will have a boat stocked and ready for you in no time at all. We are being followed. Have you noticed our little shadow? He's been following us since we left the city. We see you there, boy. Show yourself. Ah, it is you. Do you know how far out of our way we walk so that you not cross paths with some wild beast? I'm sorry, sir, but aren't you the heroes who saved Thabnar? You are, I know you are. I've gone and cheated you. I work for Zastal, you see, the map merchant. It's my job to play the pleading orphan and convince the crowd his wares and worth the price he asks. I'm ashamed of what I've done, and beg for your forgiveness. If not for you, my sister and I would have never have... Well, we'd be... Enough. I knew your game, and I paid the price willingly. A fortunate purchase, as it turns out, for my friend here was seeking those very ruins. You're kind to overlook the wrong I have done you. There's more you need to know. The map you brought is very real, as is the island it shows. I overheard Sasha selling the information to another customer. He told that man where he needed to search, about the ruins, about the vault, about everything. Then the man sailed out to find his fortune, never to return. You cannot go alone to that place. You should have more friends with you, maybe even a whole army. I do not doubt the ruins hold danger, but I assure you, between the two of us, there is little we cannot overcome. Please, I cannot bear the thought of... We could invite our comrades. That we could. And assuming we do find this treasure hoard, it may prove wise to have more hands along for the carrying. Any ideas on whom to approach? The scions have scattered far and wide since our last gathering. Tancred and Urianger. Tancred and Urianger, eh? Those two would answer our call, certainly, but they left the Rising Stones with a definitive task in mind, and I'm loath to interrupt their self-appointed mission. Alphino and Alize went to Galmol, Grahati and Kryl. Yestola. Yestola? Her magics would be a welcome addition, aye, but I am loath to interrupt her research. Mayhap we could ask a less prickly companion. Grahatia and Kryl, then. It's probably going to be Alphino and Alize. Aye, Kryl may have her hands full rebuilding the students, but if you reach out to Graha, he will surely leap at the invitation. Will that set your mind at ease? Yes, if that man is as strong as you. Is he, though? Strong, I mean? Oh, he's strong, all right. What is your name, boy? Merad, sir. Well, Merad, your life is yours to live as you will, but I suggest you find a more honest trade if you truly wish to keep your sister safe. I'm not proud of what I do, but what choice do I have? We need to eat, and everyone's too busy rebuilding their own lives bothered with two grubby orphans. Wait, boy. I didn't take this roundabout road just to see you end in some creature's belly. Let me walk you back to the city's gates. Thank you, sir. Call me Estinian. Estinian is ready to escort Merad to safety. I shall leave you to recruit... Jesus Christ! Recruit Graha. He'll appreciate the invitation that much more, I'm sure. As I recall, he was based at the Annex. Someone there ought to be able to point you in the right direction. Let us be off too, Merad. Do me a favor and don't stray from the path. I've missed this. I miss doing content for Final Fantasy 14. It's like whenever there's no new content, I really don't play this game as often as I would like. Oh, look who it is. Welcome back, Yami. What might the students do for you? Graha? Yes, he's in the main hall with Mr. Skrile. They've been holed up in there for days. By all means, go and give them an excuse to take a break.
Ah, Urgica, my good man.
Wrong.
Would you be so kind as to...
Hi!
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
Dude, stop simping over me, please! What are the two of you working on?
Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities. We located several accounts in the archives of Numenon and added them to the collection we recovered from the Isle of Vow.
And judging by the progress we've made thus far, sorting this pile will keep us occupied for days to come. But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around? The treasure vault of Alzadal III.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition. I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task. On the subject of which, I had hoped to ask for your assistance.
Look at this guy!
Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned.
Look at this guy!
Go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
He wants to go so badly! Oh, look at his eyes! They're glistening!
Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Ah, Grahati, I love you!
I guess we're off on another adventure already.
I love this man.
Have you asked anyone else to come along? Then might I suggest we invite Y'shtola? Ever since the Scion was disbanded, she's spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Gooble Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Charlion the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenon. Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe Y'shtola would be more than interested to hear what you have to say.
Cat party!
Splendid! Then let us head to the archives at once.
I unplugged my mic by mistake. Cat party!
Before you go, I have another potential member to volunteer, if you've room to spare. Urianger. He sent the students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like. From what I can gather, the Loporrits are looking to make improvements to their own creation and wish to learn more about how we build things down here.
Cat
Why
party!
not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
And the true mom of the Scions. I'm sorry, that's horrible.
None can deny the benefits of
That's
seeing something
horrible.
with your own
Like,
eyes.
it's like, I get Urianger is the guy that kind of looks out for us, but it's like, dude.
I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken with your Stola.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
Right. Then it's off to the library.
I can't see! Is she laying on the floor? Oh, she's sitting. Sitting on the floor, reading a lot of books. Jesus Christ. No, she's asleep! Bruh!
I've never known your Stola to doze off in the middle of research before.
Close my eyes for one moment.
Oh, bonk.
How long have you two been here?
Long enough. Long enough. We just arrived.
Did you now?
That's all and that's the only answer you're getting from me.
I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me. As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library.
It could be as simple as that, though.
So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. So I promised Runa. But 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
Don't think of it as impossible. Think of it as just not hard, not easy to do right now.
The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite. A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Indeed. Was there something else you wished to ask of me? Alzadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world. If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished. An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries. As if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Akyali, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him, and be on our way.
Nah. Damn it, looking at them books like, now who left these books like this? Someone's literally called PlayStation Portable. Why? Why? Why are you calling yourself that? And I see them. They're right there. They're Hrothgar. Why are you calling yourself PlayStation Portable? If I'm correct, Thalmazane is down below, right? Yeah. I want that mount, but I know it's tied to a frickin' Savage Raid, and I'm not going to do that. Hello, what's this? Oh, this is just for unlocking the Savage stuff. Which I will never do. I will never, ever, ever, ever touch the Savage Raids. Ever again. Was that a pig? That was a flying pig. Ah! There's so many people here! I can't get to it! No! I was right there! There!
Ah, our illustrious champion.
Hello, Mom!
Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure. I am told a new expedition is in the offing.
It's good to see you well.
And thee. As ever, thou art the picture of strength.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loperids had been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
Ah, you have learned of my predicament from Mistress Cryle. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loperids now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts. Thus, with their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon. So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation. But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos? Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation. How long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Aye. Though I cherish the Scion's accomplishments, 'tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
Counting Istinian, we number 5 now, yes? Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
I agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
Hello, Thancred.
All is well, I trust?
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross. That's because we didn't travel by experimental etherite. It's astounding what a lack of nausea does for one's sense of well-being. In any case, as we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches. So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seemed fit to gather? Beneath the waters of the Bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loporrits.
Ah, of course. And if you have a Stinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, it is best I sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters.
Valid.
I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations. Till we meet again.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
I can't even see myself! Oh wait, there I am! This person has a hellhound as their mount. I send you to recruit Graha and you return with an entire survey party. I hope Mott says boat is sturdy enough to carry us all. What he means is, we are grateful for the use of one of your precious fishing vessels. We are more than glad for the chance to provide it. I ask only that you take care to steer clear of the reefs and the shallows there. Aye, we will keep an eye out. Money! Alzadal's legacy. It's got a picture, so there's going to be voice cutscenes here. Alzadal the Third. I confess I am somewhat embarrassed that the tale of his journey to another world escaped my notice. Could it be more than simple folklore? And what are the treasures you supposedly brought back? This undersea vault may hold relics from another reflection. My friends, we should temper our expectations. The map doth promise ruins, but beyond that we know not what we will find. Not until we find it, aye. So let us dispense with the conjecture and set sail for the vault. Oh, is this the dungeon? Is this the dungeon already? Oh, let's go. New dungeon. I'm ready. I'm ready! But first, I was actually in the midst of fixing me some noodles because I am getting hungry. So, as soon as I'm done with that, we shall get to the dungeon. Okay, noodles are going okay. They should be finished in about 5 minutes. So, let's go ahead and get started with this new dungeon. Okay, let's see here. Al-Sadal's legacy. Since the days of old, the imaginations of Vatnarian people have been captured by a persistent legend. The promise that somewhere beneath the shimmering expanse of the bounty lies as hidden the treasure vault of Al-Tahal III. Yet how might one claim the fabled satrap's hoard when so many other reckless souls have tried and fallen? Will Estinian's dubious map lead you true to the rumored isle and its moldering ruins? Whatever peril waits ahead, it is certain to be an adventure. We're going in blind. And here we go. I didn't fix my hotbar. Ooh. Wait, what is that weapon? Is that a warrior? Ew. Okay, so it is a warrior. I keep forgetting, I don't have chitin anymore. What is that? It's a squid! The Ambu Jam. Oh, it's got a bleed debuff on it. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Ah! Oh, shit! Oh, God, that... Right here. Oh no! Ah! What the fuck was that? Sit down! Sit down, you fucking squid! No galaxy brain here! No galaxy brain here. Smooth brain. Woo! Gear for the samurai. New gear, new gear. Okay, bitch! Okay, the diffusion ray move is the raid wide. Wait a minute! Oh, crud. Wait a minute! Ah! Bitch! Woo! Money! Lots of money! What? So the only piece of slaying gear that's dropped is the bracelet. Bruh. Wait. Mimics? There's mimics here! What? Capiculu? Wait a minute, what? Ah! What is this? Wait, stop it! What is that? Ah! Oh, get that out of here. No, my neck Yoshi's way. Wait a minute. Uh-oh! Ah! Ow! Help! When will it end? When will it end? didn't even need the limit break. BDs all around. I'm gonna give it to the red mage.
What have we here?
'Tis not unlike a Hunnish alchemical furnace in design.
Well, there is one way we might find out.
Stop! You mustn't touch it.
Vritra! Oh, my apologies. Should I continue calling you Varshan?
You may address me as you wish. My nature is no longer a secret. Still, this is not a setting I imagined for our reunion. Surely you've not entered these ruins as common looters.
Would that we could deny your accusations, but I fear you're not far from the truth.
Great Vritra, might we beseech thee to explain the nature of this strange contrivance?
It was crafted by our alchemists at my behest, for the purpose of sealing something away. Perhaps I should simply show you. I have lifted the seal, if only for the moment, by an authority only I possess.
A planar fissure?
No, my friend. Small though it may be, this is a functioning gate into the void.
Void gates and fissures are much the same thing in practice, in the sense that both allow passage between the source and the 13th. The difference in terminology refers to the circumstances of their creation. A fissure is an incidental tear in the fabric between worlds, whereas a void gate is the product of deliberate action. I suspect this is the latter, judging by the elaborate mechanism put in place to control it. To think that our search for material riches would lead to this priceless discovery. That swirling emptiness, it puts me in mind of old friends, not to mention old foes. Oh boy, you still stop staring at it.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory. An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Merasidia. The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities. In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void. Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Void Scent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. Along with my sibling, Ashdaya. We dragons are not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me. I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength. I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Allagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more, until Alag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Ohtani was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, but Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
With hope in my heart, I used a simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her. What I found was a host of void scent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Ohtani and abandoning your sister. And you chose the latter.
'Twas not that thy siblings scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness. As did I. Were it not for Une and Doga, or Nero for that matter, we might never have made it home. Do you remember what happened to Nero? How his wounds allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether? Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the First Brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late. And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection. So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course. I wish only to forget the rest.
So they managed not only to expand the fissure, but also manipulate it as one might a gate. Sonic, is there any chance I could learn more of how this feat was accomplished? I will tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible and arrange to replace the guardians you so handily destroyed. You're not due to leave the gate undefended. Ah, my apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover the vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we would be happy to offer our assistance. That will not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, we keep duplicate guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Razathan. I promise we will discuss the Void Gate further, but first I must attend to the matter of the Vault's sentinels. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Capiculu has been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring a new one out of storage and see that it is conveyed to its post along with some few lesser constructs. Was it tomb robbers? Beings born of the Tower of Zot. Brother, sisters, do not tell me a blasphemy yet roams free. We can't speak. Oh. Why such guilty faces? Surely it isn't you who are responsible for this. Oh. Well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. And with that, the vault will soon be secure once more. Now I believe you had questions. Quite a few, in fact, but I'd like to begin with the gate itself. It is still functional, yes? Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemically forged lock and warped it with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. So much effort for such a little door. This little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. That said, in its current state, it would admit only the lowliest of voidsmen, and from this side, no man would be able to pass through. No man? I should think Alfredo would fit, given a firm enough push. Brah! Physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges upon the etheric density of the soul in transit. And yet, you succeeded in expanding this diminutive portal and sending your simulacrum to the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemists, I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead I bade them devise a means to control it. After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up searching for Ishtaha, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus has the gate lain dormant for years uncounted. Our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with the Cloud of Darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken and the doorway severed from its connection to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another voice ent, but such deals usually end in betrayal and death. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the bounded gate. Mayhap you could resume the search for your sister. As I have already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. I had meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? To see if the legends were true. So you have seen the fabulous wealth from the stories is quite real, if not since rumor's origin, and I'm afraid I must assert a prior claim. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little, but the time has come to spend it, that I might alleviate my people's suffering. And we are one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend? Excellent. Would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I will make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe you and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You are most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission. Would that I could join thee in thy study, but the Luppers will be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave of you. And I must be off to Charlene as well. Mistress Crowell is eager to speak with you about that request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you are able. Farewell for now. We can discuss my findings once I return. You'll not be rid of me so easily. You may now undertake the Chronicles of a New Era quest series, Mists of the Realm. Okay. Now I can do the Mists of the Realm quest line, which is something I am looking forward to. The difficult part in all this will be deciding how best to put these riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Of course. Thank you. Yami and I are in this together. I will follow his example. Meanwhile, elsewhere. Okay. Giant throne. Swirling pool of darkness. Who is this? Five chairs. Wait, isn't that? That looks like Golbez. Nah, it couldn't be Golbez. Could it? I sensed the breaching of a gate, but it was not instigated from this side, which was thrown open from the other. I too felt it. A rare occurrence, yes, but such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we have awaited for nigh on 10,000 years. We dare not let it slip our grasp. Yet we must not underestimate he who bested the cloud of darkness. Even restrained by a covenant, the cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. Bah, let him come! I will drown the world and watch this fleshing gasp of breath in its final moments. Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath this sunless sky. Remember why we see not our will to fight. Is that? Oh my God! Is that Golbez? Is this Golbez? Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Is this Golbez? 'Tis time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star. That looks like Golbez! Wait a minute! That looked like Golbez. What? No, that couldn't have been Golbez. That couldn't have been Golbez. Golbez. But if that is, wow, wow. Shall we begin? If we are to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups would benefit most from monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I would ask that you act in my stead. Yami, you are to visit Akyala and Yilmad. Speak with Mattia and his people and listen to their grievances. Isidian, I bid you to do the same at Palakistan. I will be conducting my own inquiry at the Giant's Gall grounds. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene at Megaduza. Ah, my advisor's returned. I've just made it back myself. Why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least, and there are few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Palakistan were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with some assistance from Yttleman. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like, and I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs, for the most part. Palakistan has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant's gall to a foreign trader, but such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Thavner has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade, so we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Akiala and Yttleman? I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch, which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships, the shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yttleman. I am reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when the beast sucked their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale, repeated over and over. So many lives lost. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome, but we will not. Yami, Estinian, I will consider the perspectives you brought me, and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. Come, I would like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries.
I thank you for your attendance. The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of my office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yttleman. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Kalzal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. The simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come. Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course? I see. We create a reliable source of revenue. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage. Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
Something with Kazal seems appropriate.
A fitting candidate. Kazal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Murad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation. Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor. Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. Reminded of Ishgard.
Thank you for putting forth Kazal's name. Those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You will forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Y'shtola. She asks that you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood. Thank you. Y'shtola must have finished her study at the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? I will go with you. I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been the well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Ahewan assumed the office. They understand what needs to be done. And I am curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish. Allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency.
Right, here we all are.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first. You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the walls separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many voids sent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power. To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner. Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first. And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th. Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
No. The danger is too great.
Perhaps. But what some call danger others think of as adventure.
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
I assure you I was most attentive, and I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th, and humbled the Cloud of Darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Count me in. So, we're going to the 13th, huh? Alright.
I had a feeling you might say that. Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
Is he trying to, guilt trip him into this?
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan?
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daimir was overseeing the project.
Daimir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made void scent?
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daimir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
With the restricted section of Numenon?
Yes, it may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves. See myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Let us be on our way as well.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
If we're to enter Numenon's restricted archives with a minimum of fuss, then we must secure the permission of the Forum. First, however, we shall need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? No one springs to mind? What of Scarlock Montaigne? He didn't come to Graha's defense during the inquiry, after all. This settled. Let us head to Phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more. Ooh, got us a little spot we could talk to your Stola with. Discuss the studium. I apprenticed to Master Tomoya at the age of 7 and labored under her tutelage for a full decade. Never had the chance to attend the studium. Neither did Thancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louis took him in off the street, he was put in the care of another Archon. His was a rigorous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. I sometimes wonder what my life might have been like had I pursued studies here instead. Tea at the last end of their day of lectures? Oh, that does sound lovely. Afternoons with friends spent sipping tea and debating theories? Still, I wouldn't give up my time with Master Tomoya for the world. The dank cave I studied in was about as far from the bright, airy halls of Academia as one could get, but it was a wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless. Ah, visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Skylark, but we were hoping you might help us secure permission to enter Numenon's restricted archives. Oh, no furtive forays into the stacks this time, eh? I applaud this newfound sense of propriety, yet in all this wide world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb a vault of forbidden wisdom? Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, the research left behind by House Daimir has lain dormant in Charlene's archives for many centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void. That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. To what end, pray tell? To develop a method of transversing the rift, for one, that I might keep my word to a distant friend. Sentiment aside, I have journeyed to the end of existence. I have heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. Yet I want to understand everything, to unravel it all down to its very last secret. What scholar worthy of the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if a grand revelation was the promised reward? Ha! Marvelous! An audacious proposal worthy of Master Tomoya herself. After hearing the whys and the wherefores, I for one do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to present your request for the forum's consideration. Although, your petition would be better received if you also had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Why, Master Fulchino, of course. He can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having Master Fulchino on our side would tip the balance in our favor. Very well. We will pay a visit to the Levier estate and plead our case. One last thing before you go. I would consider it a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you make in the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager. So if you could see your way to indulge in an old man's curiosity... Of course, Skylark. We'll be sure to pass on any revelations. Master Yami, Mr. Shistola, how may I be of service? We come to speak with Master Fortunato. Is he home by any chance? Yes, the Master is in residence. I shall inform him that he has guests. Well, Emilians would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. You have some matter of import to discuss. And pray proceed. You have my full attention. I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Scholar Montaigne expressed much the same sentiment, I assure you. Will not attempt to circumvent the form's authority again, unless it is absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, then why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge? For a brother who misses his sister, she was his guardian and his friend. A selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horror and suffering. But the brother has given up on thoughts of reunion. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people, yet healing from the flames of the final days, loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. 'Tis no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but it feels a worthy cause to pursue, all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones, and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experiences in the first should constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. Do not celebrate just yet. The Forum must still be convinced. I will add your request to the list of today's deliberations, and deliver a decision to you at the Baldessian Annex. So, what did the forum decide? To put it bluntly, Master Tomoya has burned some bridges here in Charlian and salted the earth for good measure. When it became clear that our student was the petitioner in question, while no few members voiced their discontent, then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms I might add, of the incredible debt we owe to you and your companions. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines, and it was agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we could do in return. That is wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf. Yes, well, as I am sure you are aware, this permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in your endeavor, and bid you good day. How are they saying that one? Uncompromising? Aye, but that very stoicism is exactly what Charlian needed to guide it through not one, but two exoduses. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes, and now I can simply walk in through the door. Our focus will be fighting House Damir's research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume. You presume correctly. Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help. Oh, it's my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Shall we? I'll pick that quest up a little bit later. I'll probably tackle the raid tomorrow, considering how long this live stream ends up turning out. In fact, how long have I been recording anyways? Jesus, almost 3 hours. It does not feel like it. Ooh, can talk to your Stola right here. Stop locking onto everything else except for her! Thank you. To think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist but yalms away from where you found me napping. If I had known of Astahal's exploit sooner, I could well have saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible in mind and look beyond conventional wisdom, a lesson I had already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. Lalafell! Archon, you're still in guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Follow me if you would. Watch your step and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged.
If House Damir's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
Maybe here. Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren, eyes blazing not with hunger, but trembling, like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem inconsequential, insignificant even. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Though you're tempted to read more, this does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. Of course not. Weighty tome! In the year 1564, the sixth astral era, the Amalja summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic lizard-like being with a potent command of fire-aspected magics. If you consider that primal summoning is an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance and powers with which it is attributed by its worshippers. What then might emerge from the ether should one who believes in an almighty omniscience attempt the same ritual? Would a scholar himself grace us with his presence? Some other embodiment of divine sagacity? Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? And if it were, whence would such knowledge arise? I myself have many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world. With no spell to transport me back to the days of old, could I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic wisdom of every age? Yet with no means to verify his pronunciation and pronouncements, how could one be certain they were true? And that's not it. Looks like there's only one more. This leather-bound log. The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by Nuhashan, the ninth patriarch of House Daimir. We present these research notes to the faculty of Charlian Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. You appear to have located the forbidden volume you seek. You surely will need to make the final confirmation. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. Well done, Yami. I think you may have found our prize. Ooh, nice looking book.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Daimir's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about. Among the ranks of the Voidsent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures, a talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate. Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon void scent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales. And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves. Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
As much as I would love to start crafting the Atomos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Hannish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in our House Daemir project. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled. Security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nadana can. I say we return to Thavnair and look for her at the great work. It's raining! Why is it always raining? Ugh! Ugh! Away with you, rain! Away! Your stola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be a part of it. I have no doubt you will be interested. This research log should speak for itself. Will it now? By the sisters, this is the Mock of House Daemir. I never even knew such a work existed. You should. It was sequestered in Numenon's restricted archives, after all. It was? But that means every word within it is forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand? I can hardly wait to read it! To think that Daemir were developing such marvelous technologies and techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atomos? I say yes! 1,000 times yes! Work on a Daemir project that had even the redoubtable scholars of Charlian trembling in their sandals? No alchemist of the great work could resist! You are a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big mouth simulacrum once we've built it? So, there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the Bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will not need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we finish gathering the components I require. Charlian's mock has provided the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you need to go no further than the font of Maya. The ascetics of old once favored the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. It would be so kind to fill a flask at the pool. I will petition Vreetreth to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall it be about it, then? We meet back here anon. Do you have that flask for me? Yes, I do. Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Yami. Skill speed. Void theory. Look who I came across. Ohtani seemed in need of diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. Right then, now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. Will we have need of Matsu's boat again? Not this time. Once you're still informed me of our destination, I arrange for a vessel to be made ready at Akiala. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host. Shall we? There's a fate down there. It looks like a Dark Knight is tackling it. Your ship is yours to command. Oh, thanks. We should set sail at once. Oh, this is exciting. Also Hall's legacy. To see the truth of a legend with mine own eyes. All aboard for the treasure vault.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts?
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Maybe send a familiar?
Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
I bet it's something adorable. I bet it's something adorable.
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born. Water, froth and fire!
What? Is it?
Your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
That was adorable. What just happened? I knew it! It was a Nixie!
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate.
Aw, that's cute!
I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
Aw, that's cute. That was cute.
In any case,
That was adorable. That was adorable.
This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
He was lost.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Of course. No, I'm not gonna bully her. I'm not gonna bully her. I know what kind of nonsense I could get into if I bullied her.
the void. I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
Uh-oh. Well, that one came back just fine. But the other one, on the other hand...
Thank you, little one. You did well.
The poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We've got company!
We're out of time! I must reseal the void gate.
Oh!
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void!
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct, then.
So it would seem that while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition? I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could, if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
Vritra is torn. Once the Nidana succeeds in replicating the Malkatomos, the door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us, or realize this is more my endeavor than yours? To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the void myself. Might we discuss this later? There is something I must do first. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least have good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Shall we proceed with our other preparations then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. I think that is a problem we could address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemists who created it. Who do we know who excels at this kind of a structural augmentation? Garland Island Works! An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Relga's Reach and commission their best and brightest. Yami, what brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sig? Certainly, I'll see if he has a moment free. A pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Heading into the void to find the lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Meteon in that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation. There seems some manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface, much as the void's corruption seeps into Nero through his wounds, in which case our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. And how might we achieve that? We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate chemical balance, far safer to dress it in armor. We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity, so as not to impede the talisman's primary functions. A suit of armor, as you said. Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. Ha! The hard part will be ducking Jesse and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. I think we can leave the rest to Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the Great Work and see how Donna is getting on with the Mock Atomos.
Hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Alzadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components. And I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless? Heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Radzat Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan! You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again, too.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you, and here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ashdaya nor Radzat Han. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavne for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care, and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
You surprised me, Justinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping Reacher reach this conclusion, as well as for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping its citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the palace racked by some unnatural storm. What of your own answer, then? You seem disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage. In his soul-chilling grief, he nursed for Ratatoska's death. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there is a chance we could spare Reacher that pain, then I will follow you. An unusual crew we have here. Indeed, but perfect for our purpose, I should think. I'd rather not bother the Scions with aught less than a dire threat to the star. Now, on to specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13 has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. 'Twould be more convenient had we some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Megaduda. Jesus, hiccups! And so we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are principally hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduda in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourself to aid me in my search for Ashtaha. Providing me comfortable quarters is the least I could do. We wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nidana. If you're in preparation to make ere we venture to the 13th, now is the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Yami, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience. For you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Meanwhile, in the 13th. Oh, it's this dude again. Do we finally get to see what they look like? Isn't that... That looks like, Xenos' Void Scent. Yeah, it looks like Xenos' Void Scent avatar. Wait, that is Xenos' Void Scent avatar. At least I think it is.
And thus I am returned. To be swallowed, bereft of senses.
Let paths unwalked, adventure spur, pulses quicken, spirits stir. Alright, that's it for 6.1 stuff outside of the raid, and like I said, I'm probably going to do that tomorrow because I have been at this for almost 4 hours. So that is all the time I have for today. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the live stream, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other Roy's Our page. You can click a link in the description below. To achieve a dream, read my cock, but we could have you won't be disappointed. And of course, don't forget to click that little bell button if you wish to be notified whenever I upload a video or a live stream to my channel. And most importantly, if you see us taking done, you should do so by checking out my playlist section. All my videos are archived for your reviewing entertainment, so you can watch Let's Plays like God of War, Batman Arkham Knight, Final Fantasy XIV, and many, many more. Thank you all for watching. As always, your host, Tomoya, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!